It is a great day to discover crypto, everybody. It's November 3rd. I'm Sam Bankman-Fried. I have sentencing in March, everybody. But before we get into that, make sure you go ahead and hit that like button. We're going to cover a lot of crypto topics today. We're going to talk about Bitcoin. We're going to talk about my case, of course. But before we get into that, I do have to read a statement, everybody. So let me just read this statement from my lawyers. So you even caught me on the counter. It wasn't me. You saw me trading on the sofa. It wasn't me. I was even trading in the shower. It wasn't me. And you even caught me on camera. It wasn't me. That's all I have for you folks. So we'll see how it goes. You know what? I'm optimistic, folks. I'm optimistic. When I say it wasn't me, it wasn't me. So Caroline, look, we were in the shower, but it wasn't me, folks. That's all I'm going to say. But how are we all doing today? Do we have some extra people in the ones and twos, or not today? Because we're in a transition, everybody. We're in a new location. A secret bunker is going to be on Monday's episode. You're definitely going to want to stick around. Make sure you have on notifications. You can see I'm in a little bit of a transition period right now. Just a transition period, not a transitioning era by any means.
Transitioning.
Do we have any ones and twos today? I need to throw this on, because normally we're in the same room. Now we're all apart. Is that a no? Is that a yeah? Just Kelly. Kelly, can I hear you?
Banging on a sofa. It wasn't me.
How many times did you cover that song?
0.
Really? You never did an acoustic cover with that? I thought you would be on stage, on a stool, winking at the ladies covering that song.
No, you know what? I would. When I did tour around as a singer-songwriter, I would throw in like classic hip-hop songs or Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and mix that into like an acoustic thing, but never that song.
Okay. Song, all right. It is a good song. All right. Well, let's get right into the story. One, oh my God, that was so loud in my headphones. But yeah, Sam Bankman-Fried. I kind of wouldn't mind sharing the screen here. I need to get where I can see that. But yeah, here we have Sam. I don't know if you're able to see. He's just walking, getting ready. What do you think, Kelly, real quick? What do you think Sam's training regimen is going to be? Is he going to learn how to like lawyer up so he can help people there? He could be the lawyer for the MDC. Is he going to get into chemistry and make things in the toilet? Or, maybe he's going to start working out. Do you have any theory?
I have a lot of compassion for all the people that were victims of FTX, but I'm a human. And I have compassion for Sam because, as well, I don't think I think he should have been convicted. And I think everybody's kind of waiting with bated breath what sort of sentencing down in March. But I think he, as a person, thinking of him just objectively as a person, I think he's going to go through all the stages of grief as everybody does. I think that he probably thought that he was going to, I don't know if you saw there was a post that Colin Talks Crypto posted with basically a fish being caught by a pelican or something. And it was basically him kind of, thinking he was going to kind of get away with it because of all the connections and mommy and daddy and the political donations. But I think that there's going to be some reality that sets in. It will actually be somewhat interesting just from an entertainment standpoint to see how he does process this. And is he gonna be like with the hairnet on in like 6 months, like running stuff in the prisons? I mean, I don't know. I think obviously he's probably going to be in one of the white collar sort of prison setups, but. It'll be interesting to see.
Just jack somewhere with the toothpick out of it, All right. The 5 stages of grief, for those who are just wondering. I think that's a great theory because, it is a commonly accepted psychological phenomenon that we've seen. Number 1 step is going to be denial. I think we've seen that already. Oh no, everything's fine. After that is going to be anger. I think we saw elements of that when he was in the courtroom. Apparently, when his ex-girlfriend Caroline was testifying. He had never done this before, but he drank from his water bottle. This is according to the reporters that were in the case, or in the courtroom at the time. He drank from his water bottle, squeezed it shut, and then put on the cap while it was like squeezed shut. So then it like kind of was in this mangled state, and then set it on the desk as he stared menacingly. So I think we already saw anger. Then it's bargaining. Okay, maybe that's the stage we're in right now. After bargaining is depression, and then after depression is acceptance. So that's the 5 stages of grief. But yeah, I think that's a real good theory. I'll go with that one as well. All right. Well, I think let's just get into the story here when we're going to talk about Sam. All right. We have Sam Bankman-Fried guilty. Me? Is it me? All right. It was DZ all along, folks. I know you were thinking it was Sam. You're like, oh my God, they got the exclusive. They actually flew him out. He was just in Manhattan. How'd they get him all the way to Atlanta to host the next day? It was DZ. All right, let's read the story here. Sam Bankman-Fried guilty on all 7 counts in FTX fraud trial. Had I started with I'm guilty, I would have kept the wig on the entire show, just so you're wondering there. A tentative sentencing date was set for March 28th, 2024. And we could share this screen, right? We're all able to see this. I think we're good. Because I'm a little bit delayed on live, so whatever is happening, I'm a little bit behind. But a tentative sentencing date set for March 28th next year. That's when we can expect Sam Bankman-Fried. Say what? Hey, it is actually, well, we don't want to say that out loud. It is a particular member's birthday. Are we able to share the screen? Because it looks like. Oh, guys, I am a boomer, so just bear with me. I forgot I had stopped sharing my screen earlier. Uh-oh. All right, so we're at the SBF. Let's see. We got to go to the window here. Okay. Figuring it out live, folks. Oh, I was sharing earlier. I forgot that I unshared. So now we're back to sharing. All right. All 7 counts. The man was guilty in the FTX fraud trial right here. Set for someone's birthday, March 28th, 2024. He could spend decades in prison and potentially face over a century, everybody. He could be potentially facing 115 years. Whoa, wait a minute. Okay, stop sharing. Looks like that's the wrong window there. Oh, no, that was Kelly's window. Okay. All right, we're getting into it. Y'all want to switch to my screen. I don't know who's running the 1s and 2s here. Should be able to see it here. But so we got 115 days he's potentially facing here. They found him guilty after the 5-week trial for the founder here and the former executive. We keep scrolling down. An appeal seems likely. Of course, the man's going to want to appeal this. He's not going to want to stay at it. In a defense, let me try to zoom in a little. And folks, we are going to be different tomorrow, or I'm sorry, on Monday on the next business day. So don't you worry. The window doesn't want to grow, does it? Why doesn't it want to grow? It doesn't want to grow. That's all right. So jurors began deliberating a little after 3 p.m. and then 7:40 p.m. They came to the conclusion that the man was not innocent. All right. So he's going to obviously want to appeal this. Well, the parents were in attendance. Joe and Barbara were there, everybody. As they read the guilty verdicts, his father buried his head in his lap from a seat in the viewing gallery. The mother just kept still, back straight, with a kind of sullen, expressionless, staring straight ahead. After the judge left, Sam stood up and the lawyers leaned in and they spoke to him. He did not look back at his parents, even as the parents shuffled over to the divider directly behind him. Arms around each other, they stared at his back while roughly 36 reporters swarmed around them. He has still not looked back at his parents or the rest of the gallery by the time he is walking to the exit. But just as he was about to reach the door, I love this. This is like very compelling. He shot back a final glance at his parents with a blink and you'll miss it, half smile and nod. That's I mean, I dig the vibe. I dig the vibe. His mother brought her hand to her chest with an audible thump. Maybe it was like more like a Spartacus moment. I don't know if it was that hard. Well, after the month-long trial, so he was arrested last December, tried on allegations of defrauding the investors and customers. His defense team argued that it was just an overworked businessman, all right? He was working himself to the nubs. No, not the nubs and anyways, who made the mistake of assuming the company funds he used belonged to those companies rather than their customers or investors? He just made the wrong assumption, folks. The man wasn't guilty. SBF still has their Crimson's link and graph. That is, that's very unfortunate. We're sorry to hear that. We have the rule of law and judicial process. You are innocent until proven guilty. He ripped off a lot more than VC people as well. A lot of retail investors got beat up by his shenanigans. A lot of people felt the pain. I remember when the FTT collapse happened, I had a small amount of the token, and I remember just thinking so certainly like, oh, they're going to protect that peg. I think it was $22. So it jumped from, it was a very, very sharp decline. I was like, oh, yeah, it'll stay around 20. Next thing you know, it was like $2. Next thing you know, I lost 90% there. So the defense team, hey, look, the guy was just overworked. That's all it was. That is all it was. Kelly, are you there? I kind of want to get your 2 cents there, man. I'm gonna keep these on. What's your take with the Sam Bankman-Fried? 115 years. If you had a guess, what is the man going to face here?
Well, I think it's going to be substantial. I think it's going to be substantial because they found him guilty on all 7 charges. And let's not forget that there's more charges that will likely he'll be convicted of if the government moves forward with the follow-on charges that they still had for political donations. And, that's going to be an interesting direction that goes depending on which way the government wants to push it, because we are also coming into an election cycle here. So it's very precariously situated. So in terms of the actual sentence, I mean, I think it's going to be substantial, but my question is, and I think a lot of people's questions are tied in with, I don't want to say anything about Mr. Jeff Epp, but you know who I'm talking about. There's a sort of precarious sort of situation with him in jail, and, with Sam Bankman-Fried and his parents and Gary Gensler and other government officials. It's going to be interesting. Is it something that they try to suppress him turning state's evidence? Is he going to move into turning state's evidence? But I'm not a lawyer, so all I can do is speculate. I think all in all, it's a good thing for the crypto space that he was found guilty. And I do think, as bizarre as it sounds, I'm on the side of, bringing down all elements of fraud within the crypto ecosystem, because we need that to happen to move forward. So I hope we see this also with SafeMoon recently, with a lot of their founders and executives getting arrested. But we're moving towards a cleaner space with a lot of the noise kind of being cleared out, making room for that ultimate super cycle that we want to see. So what's he going to be sentenced with? Who knows? All we can do is wait with bated breath.
That's all we can do. A lot of people point out the jury just deliberated for 4 hours only. 4 hours, pretty short for something like this, especially with 7 felony charges. So 4 hours is a little bit short for America, if you're wondering. And I believe people in America were able to trade on FTX for a pretty long time, FTX.us at least. The people that were paid in FTX coins were the ones who lost the most. That is certainly the case here in this country primarily. Let's see. GM, everybody. Hope you're having a great day as well. All right, let's see. Let's get to 100 likes ASAP. I think that's a very, very fine goal. Let's go ahead. We're 16 away, so let's make that happen. Now we're going to look at a couple tweets here. This is, you're going to find this pretty entertaining. One, this isn't real. Let's just go ahead and show the fake Jim Cramer one here. Sam Bankman-Fried will be found innocent. He won't serve a day in jail. Extremely bullish on SBF. That one's obviously not accurate. But there is an accurate Jim Cramer tweet that I want to share with you guys real quick. I don't know if you're able to look at that one. All right, let's see here. This one, let's check the date here. This one did not age that well, folks. June 22, 2022. This is a real tweet. Yeah, look, it's funny to make fun of the fake one. This is a real one. He's the new JP Morgan tweet. Back when Jim Cramer called him the new JP Morgan. Hey, he's doling out credit lines like the Save Crypto is. Yeah, he's doling out credit lines like someone the shot caller doling out turkeys in the hood. He's the new JP Morgan. No, it was far from it. Far from it. All right, let's get into a couple things here. FTX Alameda moving additional $46 million in Solana. I think that's a large reason why we saw a lot of Solana movement with oh my god, I'm on a different freaking browser here, so come on, give me CoinGecko. Then I'm gonna have to hit night mode. I'm sorry, I know it's in bright mode right now.
We just saw it easy. We saw you're shopping at Lane Bryant. I never thought you as such.
Oh my god. Well, then after that, I'm into Intuit Tax. So yeah, all right. Hey man, I only use this for Trello. So any kind of weird advertising recommendations you're gonna see, it's strictly Trello based. So they're like, hey, you use a SaaS product. That makes sense, actually. Use a SaaS product. Here's some Lane Bryant. You're probably in HR. You're probably more likely to be a female than a male, and you're a business casual type of person. All right. Let's look at Solana here. Solana down 6.4%, folks. Bleeding a little bit here. I don't know how it's going to look if I zoom in a tad. Okay. Kind of helps. All right. Yeah, Solana, you can see Solana down 6.4%. But we do have some coins that are moving up. I see Bitcoin's down 0.5%. Ethereum's down 0.3%. Total crypto market cap is down 0.5%. But look at Cardano. Cardano is up 4.2%. I'm not going to say it's my tweet making everyone bullish, but maybe that's a fraction of a penny, right? That could be part of it. All right, let's just go straight to the top
Clean
gainers
air
and
keeps
losers. I
us
did want to
healthy.
look at a little on
Dirty,
Solana.
polluted
Trust
air.
Wallet's up, Thorchain's up 10%. Those are looking really good. ApeCoin's up. People getting excited over the merch there. Solana, the main loser, 6.4%. But look at that 7-day. Solana's the third biggest winner for the week. I wouldn't get too worried about the 6.4% to the downside. It's just a little bit of a healthy pullback, I would say. You see those? You see that documentary at the end? They blame CZ for taking down SBF on purpose, and Kevin O'Leary is the captain of that ship. Kevin O'Leary, he's a team player. He's a company man. Kevin O'Leary was gifted millions of dollars from FTX for I think 7 minutes of work. It was like a very, very small amount of time that he had to do anything. And so, you know what? He is a ride or die SBF fan all the way to the end. On one level, yeah, look, it's icky, it's gross. You're leading people off the cliff there, but he's a loyal friend, and so that would be the good side to that story. But sometimes when your friend is stealing billions from grandmas, maybe you say, you know what? Maybe he wasn't as good a friend as I originally thought. That's what I would have done, Kevin. You chose to go a different route, and that's okay. All right, FTX, Alameda, they moved $46 million in Solana and ETH and others to Kraken, Binance, and Coinbase. They're trying to spread the eggs here. They don't want to just totally nuke an order book on one exchange here. Latest batch of movements began yesterday when an Alameda Research labeled address moved, $2 million worth of sushi. Following sushi alongside FTX, while they continue to move more tokens as well. They moved $21 million of Solana. Okay. 14 million Matic worth $10 million almost. And then, it was I was like 2.7 ETH. What are we even talking about? No, 2,700 ETH, which was worth 5 million at the time. So FTX, they saw a little spike. They took some profits, and maybe that's part of the Solana pullback. Just could be that $20 million selling pressure. In fact, I would say that is primarily the reason we're seeing not a 2% pullback, 3% pullback, but rather a 6% pullback. I heard Kevin O'Leary was hooking up with Barb. No, that was the different Barb. You got the wrong, not Barbara Freed. It was the Barbara Manhattan real estate developer where she always does this move. I'm out. She's cool. Kelly, did you watch Shark Tank back in the day?
Yeah, I mean, I still watch it periodically here and there. I think, especially now with all the different shorts and reels and stuff, I'll tune into little clips, but it's always interesting. I feel like Kevin O'Leary, out of all of them, maybe I want to believe that part of it was a character for TV, where you play up certain but he was always the most sharkness of all of them. Like, he's like, I want, I'll give you $8,000 for 63%. It's like, what? That's
it'd be like a soda company. He's like, I want 30 cents for every can of soda you sell until the company dies. And you're like,
he's like, dude, my margin is 32 cents. How am I going to give you 30? Yeah.
Oh, well, for that reason, I'm out. We're like, okay, that's probably a good thing. All right. So here we have their holdings here. The amount of assets transferred out of FTX and Alameda. Solana, then Render, then Matic, then Link, Ethereum, DYDX, and we're looking at the dollar amounts right here. So far $61 million in Solana. Hey, they're taking some profits there. Some would say, is that the real reason Solana was pumping? A more conspiratorial minded person, they would say, is Jump Capital helping them? I'm not saying that though. All right, hold on. This is absolutely wait a minute. I think I can hit refresh here. Yeah. We're back in dark mode, folks. All right. This is from Woo Blockchain. According to Claims Market, the current claim pricing of FTX has reached a maximum of 57%. This is people buying debt, pennies on the dollar. A lot of pennies in this case. Celsius, 35 cents on the dollar. Genesis, 50 cents on the dollar. Alameda, 10 to 15 cents on the dollar. Three Arrows Capital, 7 cents on the dollar for their claims. The reason FTX is so high, 57%, it's going to be Anthropic, the AI companies that are previously invested in. So people are betting on that Anthropic AI bet to pay off well. And hey, you might actually get a 57 cents on the dollar so far. So it's looking pretty good. And honestly, it's probably going to be a little bit higher because there's a risk associated with. So it's the claim is always going to be lower than probably the actual amount, unless it, some sort of wild thing, a lot of fraud or misdirection happens. But yeah, it's a risk, So if say, hey, I might be able to give you 57 cents in the future, what would you pay for that? You wouldn't pay 57 cents. You might only pay 30, 40 cents, 50 cents. So we'll see what the real numbers are towards the end. Now let's call out the dirty politicians. Talking to Sam Bankman-Fried, Maxine Waters posing with photos here. Well, Peter Schiff, the gold bug, he's pissed off about it. He's calling out the dirty politicians regulators after Sam Bankman-Fried convicted of all counts there. Note that SBF is convicted. It's time to go after all the dirty politicians who accepted his bribes. He never could have gotten away with this scam without some help. They're also complicit, and their ineptitude proves that free markets can do the job much better. Free markets almost always prove that, though. All right. And then I think, okay, nice job, Fortune. We got a couple more. Then we're going to go into charts with Kelly, I believe, here. Nice job, Fortune. The next Warren Buffett, next thing you know, found guilty, 7 charges. So, yeah, good job, Fortune there. Now, yeah, all right, Kelly, do you have something special for us? I'm looking at some charts. I'm feeling excited about Cardano. I got this Cardano video coming out soon, maybe tonight. I don't know if we can finish editing it tonight, if not over the weekend. Cardano's like the only winner in the top 10. What's going on, man?
Well, let's take a look here. It's a totally different setup, but yeah, I mean, we came, this is a 1 hour chart. We've been really pushing up here, a little bit of fake out to the downside. And I was talking about this not only in the BitLab Discord and the private member streams we've been doing every day. Rising wedge there, likely breakdown, find some support in this region. That's exactly what happened. Push up. And we're right into the zone above 32. But what I'm really watching right now is on Bitcoin, and I did a stream on it this morning on the BitLab daily stream every day, 10 a.m. Eastern time. If you're not tuning in, come join us. But we have this massive. If we go out to the 3-day, we have this line right here. This line is very important. It's the point from which we broke down with this massive sort of downtrend deviation in this bullish trend we've had this year. Now, if we get back down up over here to the 4 hour chart, this is that line right here. And you can see, I don't even have to draw any line for divergences because we have this level of resistance that we've come into 3 times now. And if you look down here, these are just traditional indicators, MACD, RSI, stochastics, all were downtrending into this move to the upside. Now, the best way to understand this, if technical jargon doesn't make sense to you, is when you see price pushing up, think of it like a car going up a hill. Well, this is your oil and the engine heat and how much fuel you have. And if you're pushing up higher up the hill, your engine's getting overheated. Okay. You have less fuel. You have, you're running out of oil. It's giving you basically signals underlying the market that the underlying signals are suggesting that I don't know if your engine can continue pushing you up the hill. And so this pullback as we have right now was basically outlined by what's happening here on the 4 hour chart. Now, is this a bad thing? No, everybody, we've been talking about this for about a week and a half now since we've really had this strong push up. This level, this previous high is really what I'm looking for, whether we come back to it now or we push higher and have a stronger pullback into this region. Most regularly, when you're seeing an uptrend, if I make this a little larger, most regular, you'll see price action come back and revisit. Look at this, revisit the high. It pushes up, it comes back to this level again because this was basically a double top. But we very regularly, even here, push up. Where did it come back to? Roughly about where the previous high was. So on this push up, whether we chop sideways here or come down to this level now, at some point, I do think we're going to fall through this volume gap here and find ourselves somewhere in the shelf. Now, remember, any pullback here, based on where we're at in the market cycle, is actually, especially if we hold, it's what we want to see because we're seeing really positive signs. This is addresses with over 10,000 Bitcoin. Look at this strong uptick we're getting. We're finally getting those large wallet addresses coming in. Now, this is very important right now because we're all talking about these spot ETFs that are on the horizon. And this is ultimately incredibly important to watch charts like this because when we're talking about institutions getting involved, this is going to be, while it's not with 227 Bitcoin, not with 1,105, not with 8,000, we're going to be seeing a sharp increase. And we're going to want to pay attention to this because this is going to be a great metric of those institutions stacking up into those, into those large wallets that they're going to need, those large holdings to substantiate and back up the ETF volume that's going to come in when it does come in. We're also seeing right here, realized profit and loss ratio. We spiked up pretty high here. So it makes sense if there's some rotation of capital into taking some profits to have those bulls come in and defend that level that we're talking about. A couple more charts here. Realized profit to value. We've had this double bottom here, like we've had here and here and here and here. Now we have pushed up high. There's going to be a little bit of pullbacks along the way. Use those pullbacks as opportunity. We're seeing the realized hodl ratio. We're still very low as we have been pre-halving. The halving was about right here. The halving was about right here. Price action and this ratio of 1 week holders to 1 to 2 year holders, that's what we're seeing. When you have predominantly long-term holders or predominantly short-term holders, when you have a lot of long-term holders, this metric's very low. This means that the price level is very strong because you don't have people that are very susceptible to volatility in price. They're strong hands. When this gets very high, the higher this is, the weaker the price level is. We're still very low, so we are setting up for some incredibleness. Now, I want to point this out because everybody thinks that this broke. Stock to flow ratio. Why? Because we have this big deviation below the line. But you know what? Not one person I heard say that this model was broken when we had this massive deviation with price above this level. So this is still a level that we need to pay attention to. It's a model based on the dynamics of supply and demand. Now, are we going to get all the way back up to here where these blue dots have been, which means the halving has happened, essentially? This is a halving right here. This is a halving right here. This is a halving, all on the stock to flow line. Now, this is a very bullish hopium, and I don't think this is going to happen. But if we were to get up to this by halving, that would represent $120,000 Bitcoin. I don't think that's necessarily going to happen.
Yeah, me neither.
I don't. But the point is, I think that there's going to be a mean reversion here that we at least push towards this and likely sell off into the halving, but getting a strong pump up into this level. Now, last thing I just want to share is this right here. This is the most bullish chart you can look at on Bitcoin because look at the price action exploding to the upside through this entire period of time, early 2011, all the way up here, even here 2017. But we at the last halving, we have a change of course here. What is this? This is a lot of new supply coming in, a lot of available supply, this orange metric. Now, this orange metric flips at that third halving right here. And this was pointed out to me from the Rational Root. By the way, we will be interviewing him next week here on Discover Crypto and in BitLab Academy. Wonderful on-chain analyst, but he pointed out that there's basically a bizarre kind of inverted bullish divergence here where we're having a change of behavior here in the space. After this last halving, we're having less and less available supply. And what are we coming into? That S-curve of adoption where we're about to get exponential new people in the market. What does that mean? Not only institutions and people, that means increased demand. So not only are we having less and less available supply, but we're also having more and more demand come in the near future. This is one of the most bullish things that I've seen in a long, long time. And all we got to do right now is don't trade your assets away because you're impatient. If you don't have a plan, then your money's going to go to somebody that does have a plan. So just stay patient. Let the market come to you. We are in for a ride in 2024.
All right. And speaking of plan, after the Cardano video, I'm working on a video to give you 3 steps to have a plan for the next bull run. It'd be a great video to show to people newer to the market. Who said it? 508 visuals. Kelly is so damn underrated. Such a smart freaking dude. Sorry for the language there, but I agree. 508. I agree. Kelly, always a great time, man. Very much. Oh, they muted. Hey, man. Thank you very much. All right. Let's look at the performance of major assets, folks. I'm getting excited when I look at this chart, folks. This is all major assets and asset classes, okay? So Bitcoin, let me, a little reference here. Bitcoin is either the best, hold on. I know it's, where's my sunglasses? It's either the best or worst performing asset in the world every single year. Let's actually look. All right. So what are the assets we're looking at? We're looking at Bitcoin, just a casual 1,000% pump there. We're looking at Bitcoin. We're looking at gold. We're looking at real estate investment trusts. We're looking at bonds, U.S. equity, commodities, think like pork futures, DM equity, which is developed market equity, and then EM equity, which is emerging market equity. So look at Bitcoin here. Number one asset, bottom. Number one asset, bottom. Bing, 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 bottom. Number one asset. And so we're looking for the middle year of the top performing asset. 200% pump 2012. 123% 2016, 300% pump 2020. What is 2024 going to look like, folks? I'm feeling pretty bullish when I see a chart like that, though. So maybe let's put in some predictions here. Let's see. So 21. All right. So 300. All right. With 200, 100, 300. Whew, man, we're going to be coming in, close to 140? I think 140%. So I'll type in 140%. I think that's where we end up here. G Unit in the house, everybody. Welcome to the Dictatorship. What community is better? We got a question in the chat. Cardano, Ethereum, Avalanche, Solana. I know where I'm going to vote, folks. Let me go ahead and hide that for me. All right, I need someone needs to change their clothes when there's Cardano talk. Well, you are going to get blown away from that video that we're working on. I'm really excited to share it with you guys here. All right, let's move on here. U.S. jobs up $150,000. Missing forecast for 180, so a little bit lower. Bitcoin remains lower at $34,000. So we're expecting 180. We got 150, but we still, at the end of the day, we added 150,000 jobs. Unemployment rate rose, though, to 3.9% versus forecast of 3.8%, and September's 3.8% as well. In addition to that miss there, downward revisions to the August and September jobs gains totaled 101. I like how they give us numbers, and then they say, here's August number, September 4th or September 3rd. Here's the numbers for August. I have all August employment numbers. Here you go, September 3rd. And then they're like 2 months later, oh, yeah. I had to use a whole bunch of whiteout. I had to cross something out and I changed the number. And here you go. Meanwhile, the markets are reacting to what you told me on September 3rd. So I wonder if anyone has inside info on the revisions. If they did have inside info, say politician or something, that would sure probably work out very well for their stock portfolio, wouldn't you say? All right, checking other reports here. Average hourly earnings were 0.2% higher in October, shy of the estimates 0.3. Year-over-year basis, average hourly earnings rose 4.1% versus 4.0% expected and 4.3% in September. So wages are up for the hourly, 4%. What is the cost of living, though? Is the cost of living up more or less than 4%? If it's more than 4%, it's a net loss in your quality of life. I think we can all look around and realize it was more than 4%. Let's talk about the whales here. Record inflows and outflows notice on Kraken. Large investors in play. We covered this a little bit on ATB. Roughly $75 million outflow, followed by $100 million inflow, reports Kraken here. So we had $75 million, but then a second inflow, the second largest of the year, reached $100 million there. So the whales were the ones moving all of this here. And we also saw crypto.com saw a significant influx in a year, saw its most significant influx in a year, reinforcing the surge of capital mobility on crypto exchanges. Volume is up. People are trading. The water's warm, folks. So some people say the algo community is the top community. I know that 100 community was freaking going strong the other day. Avalanche, some say it's Avalanche. Solana has a strong NFT community. I'll give them that. I would say Cardano has a strong NFT community and a strong DeFi community and just a strong ecosystem community, strong developer community. So I'm going with Cardano. But guys, I always tell you, my ADA opinion is always biased. All right, Gandalf, Bitcoin Gandalf, such a good name. We did it. We front ran the institutions. BlackRock, late to the Bitcoin party. Where are all the cheap sets? Meanwhile, us degens, us people in the basement, us people hitting the like button on this YouTube video right now, we've already been eaten. You know what? Let's go ahead and take a sip here. Let's take a sip with Leo, with heavy Leo here, with the whale Leo. Let's all take a sip. You too. Hey, do you got a drink over there, Aaron? Do you have a drink? All right, let's all take a sip. Nick, you're listening. Let's all take a sip together in 3, 2, 1. Oh, yeah, that felt good. You felt that dopamine surge? You feel that oxytocin of your sense of community being formed? Let's go ahead and hit the like button if you haven't as well. I heard it does the same thing. All right, volatility as the price is going up and as the market becomes more mature, volatility is at its lowest level in over a decade. I find it funny. What was this low volatility period in 2013? What the heck was going on, man? So according to econometrics, 2023's distinct shift in the volatility pattern here associated with Bitcoin, and we're seeing a little bit of a lessening of volatility. So Yeah, a lot of 50s, a couple hundreds here. Then it's a lot of 50s with some 40s. Still see some 50s, but now we're seeing some 20s and 10s. You fast forward to today. Yeah, now it's 20s and 30s. But whoa, look at that 2021 volatility. Look at that 2020 volatility. Look at that March crash, 123% there. So yeah, volatility. Bitcoin is maturing, everybody. It's like the cool uncle that used to go really fast in the hot rod when you're like 8 years old, and you look back as an adult and you're like, well, that wasn't safe. Well, now he's a gentle giant. He's a little bit more chill now. He's not screaming at the top of his lungs here, flying off the handle like he used to. Now he's a little more laid back. Speaking of flying off the handle and never being laid back, we have Michael Saylor here. If this is what it takes to 10x the next level, F that. So Saylor, being a big part of this conversation here, he is saying Bitcoin will 10x from unprecedented demand amid institutional involvement. Bitcoin's price right now, weird to look. Let's get the live look here. Bitcoin. So that'd be a $347,000 Bitcoin. So he is saying we're going to get a $350,000 Bitcoin. Do you agree? Michael Saylor's assessment. Now, what's the timeline? I do think it'll hit 350 eventually, but what is your timeline here, Michael? We need a potion. We need a poll on Boomerize. I'm going to the eye doctor later today. We need a poll on what is actually in DZ's cup. Which one, folks? Which one? Oh, put some hair on your chest. All right, MicroStrategy co-founder Michael Saylor recently said he believes that Bitcoin will spike in an unprecedented way here. He's a popular Bitcoin bull. He reiterated his support for Bitcoin here. Saylor also said institutional interest will pump up its price. According to him, major financial giants gradually adopting Bitcoin will stabilize the asset and the entire industry. When banks are responsible custodians and the industry takes its ways away from all the S coins, I think the industry moves to the next level and we 10x from here. So he doesn't want to give a year. Sure, Bitcoin will 10x. I'll say it too. Here, we're all there. What is in DZ's cup? It's coffee, folks. It's not adult juice. I'm not that cool, everybody. I know it's Friday and it's 5 o'clock somewhere. I'm not that cool. Never been that cool. All right. I heard Michael. It's not cool, folks. I heard Michael Saylor is. I haven't seen. That's. I'm not going to Google that one, Alex Green. I guess they both agree in the long term. Okay, yeah. What's in the cup, Ross? He gets me excited. I don't care. I love Michael Saylor as well. The cheerleader that sometimes Bitcoin needs. Sometimes it doesn't need it, like when it's on a strong, severe decline. We don't need all these memes of Michael Saylor making us look bad. But hey, 3 out of 4 years, he's generally right here. Adult juice, guys. No, adult juice means it's like kombucha. It's kombucha. All right, hedge funds are the least long on U.S. stocks they've been in more than 11 years, according to data from Goldman Sachs. 11 years ago, we're coming off the GFC, the Great Financial Crisis of 08, 09. So here we see 2011 levels, very, very low interest. It was actually kind of, you can continue the line. Oh my God, I know it's so bright, folks. I apologize for that. It's closer to here, so then it was a spike up. What did we see in the stock market in this period? A nice acceleration in equity prices. And then we see the next time it was like, at a relatively low level, about to go up. 2020, right after quantitative easing, and then 2021, one of the most bullish eras for stock markets in recent times. So are we going to bounce off here, or are we going to go to great financial crisis levels, which will be below this? Well, I will say this. People are bearish, and then at max bearishness is when you want to flip bullish. Problem is, can you time it correctly here? All right. An additional $5 million to Bitcoin. The Bitcoin they do have is in profit. Well, so is Jack Dorsey's Block. Block is $44 million in their Bitcoin profit in Q3, though. So those that don't know, Block bought some Bitcoin in early 21, mid 21. I can't remember exactly when they bought, but yeah, so Block's Bitcoin is moving up. So let's see. The Bitcoin that Block holds worth $216 million, exceeding the book value. What they pay for it? A paltry 114. So good job, Jack Dorsey. I don't have anything against beards. And you know what? You got a pretty clean haircut too. Maybe that ayahuasca trip and that weird TP in the South American jungle did you good. And now you're helping out the Bitcoin Core network there. Let's see here. What else? We got USDC decreasing $300 million in 24 hours. I think we're seeing the exodus from USDC to USDT, and it's been happening for a while. Where there was a time where we thought USDC was certainly going to overpass USDT. Didn't end up happening. Looks like Tether just keeps weathering every storm, similar to Mr. Four talking about CZ here. Stablecoin activity exceeds that of DeFi in Q3 with more than 400,000 active addresses here. This was something I kind of brought up on Tuesday's ATB, I believe. I've worked with protocols, I've worked with NFT projects, I've worked with SaaS companies, and I've worked with overseas developers. The amount of times I've had someone ask me to pay them in Bitcoin is zero. The amount of time I've been asked to, hey, can you pay me in stablecoin? Dozens. So we're looking at a 20 to 30 ratio to zero, 20 or 30 to zero ratio when it comes to pay me in Bitcoin versus pay me in Stables. Stables is the killer app for crypto as of right now. I do think, using Bitcoin as a flight of safety, a flight to quality is a great thing. But I think when it comes to boots on the ground, who's using it, I think stablecoins is, going to kind of be what we talk about, what we look at. All right. Render announces Solana migration and a token grant. So Render is in the news of folks here. Let's see what happened to Renders. Let's do a little quick dive here. Render number 55, and the community went down 3%. So let's look at the 7-day though. Could be no. Community did not care. Community did not care. I see a little bit of a lower high there. Okay, I see a nice little trend line here, potentially a little bit of support. Okay, when you look at the 90-day, you look at the 3-month, it looks like just maybe a little healthy correction there. Okay, yeah, we're seeing a lot of resistance at these levels anyway, so it's a little bit difficult to reach that $3 range, but Render's all-time high is spiked above $8 temporarily, so $8 from here. I don't know the tokenomics. I haven't looked at it. It looks like we have roughly 70% or so out, so about 70%'s out. $8 from here, not quite a 4x, but you're looking like close to a 3.66x there. If you're in Render, maybe, it was a buy the rumor, sell the news situation here. Call me Mike Tyson because I bit that like button's ear off. Hey, thank you for hitting the like there. We all appreciate people helping that. You hit the like button, you help Bitcoin's price goes up in a real, but albeit very small way. Think about it. You're spreading this video. The more people see this video, the more people get interested in crypto. The more people that were on the sidelines for 2023, 2022, now they're going to come back in. They're going to spread that gospel come this Thanksgiving. So help us out. Caffeine is the OG adult juice. Let me think about that. I think it was wine, right? Weren't they making wine pretty early there? Oh, honey mead. That's also another one there. I don't know where did coffee start? That's a good one. Tea. I think people were drinking tea before coffee, right? I don't know. You know what? This isn't though. This isn't a beverage channel. This is a crypto channel. Felt that chill? You felt that chill as I brought us back on a course? Speaking of chills, let's talk about Chiliz. I love my baby back. I love Chiliz along with 25 partners. They are announcing a SportFi ecosystem. Shout out to Iran. Iran was always a big fan of Chiliz. I never got into it, or if I did, I was in and out within like a month. So I think maybe I did buy it for a short period. Well, Chiliz envisions SportFi, which is their latest partner there, it's their latest ecosystem, as a platform where blockchain tech can turn sports into valuable digital assets, creating a new way for sports entities to interact with their communities. I think, we do want to see this. I don't know what it will look like 10 years from now, but they're all fighting to get these sports partnerships. They want to partner with the NBA, with the UFC, with the NFL. They want to partner with the ticketing. They want to partner with the sports cards style. They want to partner with, fan experiences. I think there will only be 2 or 3 winners. I'm just going to default and say, watch Polygon pull some crazy partnership out of their in the next 2 years. So the biz dev team at Polygon cannot be discounted. So I would expect them to be a major player in the sports Web3 ecosystem, whether that's NFT, whether that's ticketing, you name it. I think Chiliz has a shot, though. I think Chiliz has a shot to be a top 3 top 5 contender there. More, maybe more on the niche side. All right, but let's look at Chiliz token here. Chiliz 86 flat. The markets didn't really care. 86 coin market cap. It is up 0.2% today. Let's not celebrate or anything. 14 days looks a little bit better. 30-day looks a little bit better. 90-day, okay, so it looks like it maybe found that bottom right around a nickel. A lot of coins like being around. Okay, that chart looks pretty good. You look at the 6 month there. I mean, you look at the 1 year, yeah, it could be another leg down. That could be a little fake out breakout there. But I'm not saying that was the nickel was the bottom. I wouldn't be surprised if it was, though. Is that also? Oh, wow. Okay, this kind of confirmed. I don't want to say confirmed. This gives me another indication that 5 cents is strong support. You see 5 cents was that point of area of interest all the way back in February 2021. I'm not going to, I need to look at the tokenomics. I don't know if Chiliz can go to 75 cents, but if it did go to 75 cents, you're looking at around 11x there. So Chiliz, potential room to the upside. Any fans of Chiliz in the chat, let me know. Beer, probably oldest adult Jews. First confirmed beer dates back 5th millennial BC. Okay, so we got beer. I thought honey was being used pretty early. Okay, these entities will all build their own because either they have the money to do it. Yeah, I agree with that. Chili, if you're talking about like the Chiliz ecosystem, yeah, you have someone, we could buy Chiliz for $500 million, or we could just build our own. Baby back ribs. Wine and a form of sake are the oldest drinks other than water. 7,000 BC. Okay, all right. Keeps going back. No, this is the blood ritual from the aliens before they built that was the first drink. All right, let's we have NBA star flees $8 million mansion. What? Amid threats from crypto king victims. Wasn't a star that I had heard of. Shy Gilgis Alexander. So he was forced to flee his $8.4 million mansion after a threatening visit from a stranger looking for the crypto king Aiden Platursky, the Pollock there. The athlete and his girlfriend were the only one in the home, and in a matter of days before a threatening visitor knocked on their door, demanding to know that man's whereabouts. When he called the police to report the visitor, that guy had a history of similar incidents, including a threat to burn the property down. 2 days after moving in, the pair upped sticks there. Is that like a weird Canadian way of saying they moved? The pair upped sticks. Where's Maddie B when you need him? All right, so here we have a little clip. Let's go ahead and mute it just to make sure in case it wasn't there. Okay. He pulls up for about the 18-footer there. All right. Crypto King, former owner, says he was kidnapped. We covered it a lot. It was just about a year ago. He said he was kidnapped. They beat him up. I think there's even that video there. Bankruptcy reports say he invested just 2% of investor funds while he spent roughly $16 million on himself. What did he do? Private jets, vacations, luxury cars there. But then he claimed to have been kidnapped by 5 disgruntled investors, one of which lost $750,000 there. Disney. Let's talk a little Disney here. I know mead is really old too. They're harvesting honey. Not sure on the details there. Okay, all right, let's see here. Need to be 50 grand a mint, like a million NFT tickets. ETH is 30 grand. Sol is 5 grand. Fire Dancer 10. Easy. Who do you think they'll pick to mint those tickets? Well, I don't think no one would ever mint tickets on Ethereum. It would always be a L2. And then there's also batch minting with Cardano. You can mint like a whole bunch, but no one wants to know about batch minting right now. Maybe for a dedicated video. All right, let's talk about Disney here. Disney and Square back games tap Immutable X and Polygon for Ethereum scaling here. Immutable X was a coin that I talk about often. It was a free airdrop for those that played Gods Unchained. Still, think that's a pretty good game. But what we have right now is Immutable back, I think it was about 6 months ago, they partnered with Polygon to almost like be a Polygon partner, which is a partner of Ethereum. So IMX, nice little partnerships there for the scaling solutions. Oh my God. Hurts my eyes. Happy 5th anniversary, Uniswap. Who's in Uni? I bought Uni too high. I should have bought more when it was low. I actually almost thought about buying some this week just to lower the average cost. And I bought something else. Guys, I DCA'd. Let me go ahead and reveal to you folks what I DCA'd here. Oh, I remember. Cardano DeFi Go ahead and pull it up, folks. And, might go ahead and I got to show you the alpha. I got to show you the alpha. I bought some COTI, and I am up 3.5% today. Yeah. Get on out of here. Now I'm only lucky because Cardano went up, and so this is a Cardano ecosystem token. So while the rest of the market's down, I'm celebrating my win. There's only a few of us celebrating a win today. So COTI is doing pretty well. And COTI, if you don't know, that is the team behind the ZED stablecoin. And my long-term prognosis for this is ZED is I believe, the oldest stablecoin project on Cardano, and they just tapped a partnership with IOG. So I'm expecting good things for them. It is a 400% over-collateralized algorithmic stablecoin. And my thesis on algorithmic stablecoins, you launch one at the peak of a bull market, you're almost guaranteed to fail, where you have, 200% metric, 300% metric, because then it's just going to go down. And then you're like 300% becomes 280, 220. Pause minting, 180. 100%. Guys, it's fine. All assets are backed, and then you lose your peg. But if you were to do that during the bear market, your 400% collateralization for ZED did fall. But now I think it's going to go on the way back up. Now I'm expecting that Cardano in fact, I'm sure it's up a lot in the past 7 days here. So that collateralization then reaches 400% again. Then it's 500%. Then it's 1,000%. Then you're like, oh, wow, for every dollar of this protocol, there's $10 of Cardano and other currencies backing this thing up. So they launched, I think they got the ZED stablecoin out at the right time when the markets were low. So I bought a little COTI. So, you hear me talk about TA on COTI. I don't have it up on TradingView. Maybe Monday. We're in the new. All right, you know what? Let's just look at it here. God dang it, we'll look at it. This is the 1 year mark. Yeah, obviously if they launched a year ago, it's pretty bad. So any point, it's not the best time to have launched here. The 6 month looks a little bit better there. At least they didn't do it then. I bought some. I was down significantly. I don't know when I bought, but it was a project I believed in. I didn't take profits in it when I should have took profits in it. So I bought more. I added a 33% allocation. So if I had 3 tokens, I turned my 3 into 4. I had no, I'm sorry. It was a 25% allocation. So if I had 4, I turned it into 5. So for every 4 tokens, I added 1. And then you know what? It lowered my average buy-in cost. Not nearly as much as I wanted it to, but it did lower my average buy-in cost. So I'm feeling pretty good about COTI in the long run here. Let's see here. Can people see me? Yeah, I can see you in the chat, D Jenny. You were here, and you were doing your part there. So I appreciate it. Your whole country are Roman era ruins. LOL. Okay. All right. Hey, I guess you've thought about the Roman Empire so far once today. All right. So you got that in. Catch them all here. Let's see. I do like, let's see. So he's got some pretty funny comments there. All right. I agree. Not dead. I think this might be the last bull run. Okay. It might have. Okay. My wife used live really close to Stonehenge. Used to live really close to Stonehenge. I'm close to a lot of ruins. Okay. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Crypto is already complicated enough. Do you want another crypto layer 2 just to do ETH transaction? You know what? When those ETH fees go up, people will want to learn about L2s there. All right, so back to COTI. COTI, congrats on the team there with the partnership. All right, then let's go ahead and wrap it up with this final story here. Talking about Georgia and Ripple. So XRP, we got to give you a little XRP red meat here. Georgia selects Ripple as a key partner for its digital lari pilot project. Wait, the state, Georgia? No, the country, folks. Yeah, please go ahead and hit that like button. Thank you, Blue Punk Rocker. How about Jesse Eisenberg instead of Jonah Hill? Both would be pretty good. Jonah Hill can lose some weight, though. In regards to Roman Empire, pizza is all that comes to mind for me. I think about chariots. I think about lead pipes. I think about coin devaluation. I think about, aqueduct system. When I think about the lead pipes, I think about Caesar, political insiders, backstabbing. So yeah, there's a few Roman things I'll think about. All right, let's talk about Ripple here. Georgia's central bank has partnered with Ripple to pilot the country's CBDC project, folks. This feels not small, okay? So they picked them as its technological partner. If you want to keep it on me real quick, I'm going to look up Georgia's GDP here, and then they're going to try to give me the state. Be like, do you mean the state? No, the country, you dumb. Let's see, economy of Georgia. Oh my God, wait a minute. Is that the state there? No, World Bank. Okay, world's #1 economic reformer. Okay, so it looks like the GDP is 30 billion. And the GDP rank 112th. So, well, it's higher than El Salvador, but it's certainly not like a Brazil. All right, so I would say huge win for XRP today. That is a huge win. So they picked Ripple as his tech partner and will jointly plan and seek to deliver the pilot program. Hey, XRP, we don't say XRP is the coin you go to when you want to fight the man and, champion decentralization. They call it the banker's coin for a reason. That's not me trying to FUD the project. That's, this recent partnership is just an example of why they call XRP the banker's coin. So Ripple is the bank's official technology partner and will collaborate with their CBDC platform with their currency there. So big win for XRP. But it might be a bigger win for Link 2. And let me give a shout out to Link 2, where you can invest in IPOs or ahead of time. So that might be a good opportunity if Ripple IPOs and get in ahead of the curve here. Because what is going to be the bigger winner from the Georgia CBDC project? Is it going to be the XRP token price, or is it going to be the valuation of Ripple Labs? If I had to choose one of those two, I think both benefit. I think Ripple Labs benefits more. So that's why I want to give a shout out to Link 2. You can check the link in the description there. But folks, I think that's all we got time for today. We're in the new set. I appreciate you joining. We're going to be back to the brand new awesomeness, good cameras, good microphones, good lighting, good everything. You're definitely going to want to stick around. Make sure you turn on notifications. Cardano video, 11 a.m. I reveal the lies being told about Cardano, and I expose the truth. You're definitely going to want to stick around for that, so make sure you have on notifications. That's all I got for you today. Easy out. Until next time.